Have you ever asked yourself, what does it truly mean to live a good life? Is happiness about wealth, pleasure, or something deeper? Aristotle's Nicomachean Ethics is a timeless guide to understanding the essence of happiness, virtue, and the human pursuit of fulfillment. Rather than simply searching for immediate pleasures, Aristotle challenges us to pursue eudaimonia, a life filled with purpose, virtue, and meaningful relationships. This book received 4.0 stars on Goodreads, reflecting its continuing value in helping readers live more thoughtful, intentional lives. If you like this video, don't forget to support the channel by liking and subscribing. Stay tuned for some additional book recommendations with similar insights at the end. Nicomachean Ethics by Aristotle. Happiness is the ultimate goal of life. Aristotle teaches that all human actions aim at some good, but the highest good is happiness, a lasting, meaningful kind of joy that comes from fulfilling our true potential. Eudaimonia, true happiness, beyond pleasure. Aristotle introduces the idea of eudaimonia, which translates to human flourishing, or the good life. Unlike fleeting pleasures, like eating your favorite food, eudaimonia is about living a life of virtue and purpose. Imagine spending a day helping others. This is the kind of lasting satisfaction that contributes to true happiness, not just the temporary satisfaction of material or superficial gains. The illusion of pleasure alone. Many people chase after pleasure, whether through wealth, fame, or experiences. However, pleasure alone cannot provide happiness. Aristotle emphasizes that true happiness comes from living a life of purpose, making ethical choices, and cultivating virtues like kindness and courage. This is why wealth and power, while desirable, can't offer the lasting happiness that virtue can. Virtue as the path to eudaimonia. Happiness, Aristotle argues, is not an accident or a gift, but is achieved by developing virtues. Being courageous, generous, and honest isn't just morally right. It leads to a happier, more fulfilling life. Think of a successful leader like Nelson Mandela, whose moral commitment to justice led not just to political victories, but a life full of purpose, fulfillment, and recognition of humanity. Happiness requires social connection. Humans are inherently social creatures. Happiness cannot be achieved in isolation. We are happiest when we're connected to others. Aristotle points out that fulfilling relationships, whether with family, friends, or community, are key to eudaimonia. These connections give us opportunities for shared growth, support, and love, which are essential to living a well-rounded, happy life. Bit to remember: true happiness, eudaimonia, isn't about wealth or fleeting pleasures. It's found in purpose, virtue, and meaningful relationships. Virtue is the key to a good life. Virtue isn't a state you're born into. It's something you actively develop through conscious practice, becoming the best version of yourself. The golden mean. Balance in all things. Virtue is about balance, and Aristotle famously referred to this as the golden mean. Take courage, for example. Too little courage makes you a coward, while too much leads to recklessness. The sweet spot is moderate courage, where you're brave when needed, but not foolishly so. Just like a tightrope walker, you need balance to avoid falling to one extreme or the other. Virtue is built by repeated actions. Virtue isn't something you have inherently. It's something you build through action. If you practice generosity regularly, you'll naturally become more generous. Self-discipline comes from consistently resisting temptation. The more we act virtuously, the more those virtues become ingrained in our character. Emotions and virtue. Virtue isn't about suppressing emotions, but about managing them effectively. Aristotle doesn't want you to become emotionless. Rather, he wants you to respond to emotions wisely. For example, it's natural to feel anger when wronged, but virtue lies in how you channel that anger, either into constructive action or, ideally, letting it go without aggression. Practical wisdom, phronesis. Practical wisdom is about making good decisions in the real world, using your virtues thoughtfully. A skilled doctor knows not only the science behind healing, but also how to apply that knowledge to each unique patient. Likewise, practical wisdom guides us in applying virtues in the complexities of life, understanding when to act with courage, when to be patient, and when to be gentle. Bit to remember. Virtue is built by consistently practicing the middle ground between extremes and using wisdom to make good decisions. Friendship, the heart of a good life. Aristotle believed that friendship is an essential part of happiness. It goes beyond casual acquaintances or shared enjoyment. It's about deep, virtuous relationships. The three types of friendship. Aristotle classifies friendships into three types. 1. Friendships of utility, based on mutual benefit, like business partners. 2. Friendships of pleasure, based on shared enjoyment, like people who bond over a hobby. 3. Friendships of virtue, built on mutual respect, trust, and shared values. These are the most meaningful and long-lasting. The highest form of friendship is based on virtue, where both people are committed to growing together and supporting each other's personal development. Friendship enriches our lives. Friendships of virtue don't just enrich our social lives, they are key to our personal growth. True friends encourage us to be better, act with integrity, and pursue meaningful goals. A good friend doesn't let you settle for mediocrity. They help you aim higher. The role of trust in friendship. Trust is the foundation of any strong relationship. In friendships of virtue, trust is built on shared experiences, honest conversations, and mutual respect. Without trust, even the closest friendship cannot thrive. Trust enables people to be vulnerable with one another and share their truest selves, allowing for deeper connection and understanding. Friendships as essential to eudaimonia. True happiness isn't found in isolation, and Aristotle emphasizes that friendships are indispensable to the life of flourishing. Social well-being is part of living a virtuous life, and the best friendships help us live out our virtues in the world. Friends keep us grounded, offer different perspectives, and support us in our ethical and moral pursuits. Bit to remember. Virtuous friendships, based on trust and mutual growth, are essential for a fulfilling and happy life. Wisdom, the guide for living a good life. Wisdom is about more than being knowledgeable. It's the ability to apply knowledge effectively and live virtuously. Practical wisdom versus knowledge. Aristotle distinguishes between knowledge, facts, and wisdom, the application of facts in real life. You can memorize all the information in the world, but without practical wisdom, that knowledge is useless. Wisdom is the ability to apply knowledge correctly to make the right decisions in the complexity of daily life. For example, knowing how to handle a disagreement requires more than knowing the facts. It requires understanding when to speak, when to listen, and when to compromise. Experience and reflection. Shape wisdom. Wisdom doesn't come overnight. It's built through experience, reflection, and learning from mistakes. Imagine a sailor learning to navigate a stormy sea. They get better at it after each storm, learning how to adjust the sails, read the wind, and keep calm. The same is true for wisdom. It's refined over time as we reflect on our actions, learn from them, and grow. Role models and mentorship. Aristotle encourages us to find role models or mentors who can help guide us on the path to wisdom. These individuals offer insight, advice, and real-world experience that can help us make better choices and avoid pitfalls. Like a seasoned mentor teaching a newcomer, wise people show us the path to virtue and good living. The importance of contemplation and reflection. Finally, Aristotle stresses that contemplation, deep thinking about our lives, our actions, and the world, is crucial for wisdom. Making time to reflect on your values, your goals, and your actions ensures that you're living intentionally rather than reacting to life's demands. True wisdom doesn't come from rushing through life. It's about taking the time to reflect and align yourself with what matters most. Bit to remember. Wisdom is about applying knowledge, reflecting on life's lessons, and making intentional, virtuous choices. If you enjoyed this summary, check out these books: Meditations by Marcus Aurelius, The Republic by Plato, On the Shortness of Life by Seneca, The Art of Happiness by the Dalai Lama, 12 Rules for Life by Jordan Peterson, The Happiness Hypothesis by Jonathan Haidt,